That's a screen.
And that pass is incomplete, intended for Sky Regan again.
Yeah, they run a play-action screen. They faked it to the back and then tried to get it to the screen, the trailing back. But it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. So Menlo's done a great job here defensively.
Just over a minute to go, second quarter.
Play
action. Harris coming, Will Miller coming on pressure. Now passing back to the left, and it's incomplete. So it's going to be 4th down. Carlmont's going to have to punt it away again.
Well, they are not a drop back pass. Each and every time it's been a play action pass, and there's no real deception here when it's 3rd and long, 4th and long. So they're punting here, and Menlo may get excellent field position.
And it's going to take a hop down to the 38-yard line, so Menlo will start. They've got about 3/4 of the field to go, just past it, as they pitch it to Max Parker. And Parker on 1st down. If you're Menlo right now, you'd like to get another score if you can, but you're happy with a 27-3 lead going into half, I would think.
I think so, and there's very little time left, so that's going to keep the clock running, and things are under control right here.
Pass out left. That is complete. And almost getting free of the arm tackle is number 6, Connor Stasny. That'll stop the clock to move the chains, as Menlo looks to tack on maybe another score here at the end of the second quarter.
Well, they're moving the ball down, and maybe a possible field goal. This looks like the last play of the quarter. So.
And Parker tries to turn the corner, and that is going to do it for this second quarter. But all in all, a pretty productive first half for the Menlo Knights. And you taking a 24-point lead into the break, you're pretty happy. We will come back with the second half right here on CCSA. Second half action is underway here from Carlmont as the Menlo Knights kick it off to the Scots with a 24-point lead, 27-3 as we come back from the break. And Ray, if you're the Menlo Knight coaching staff, you got to be pretty happy with especially the way your defense played in that first half. They really didn't give Carlmont much of anything.
Well, I agree with you, and here it starts with a nice kickoff coverage, but we'll see what kind of changes either team has made. So, fumble.
Ball comes free at the end of that play, but they are going to rule him down. So, a pretty good run on 1st down for Sky Regan, and he has been the workhorse for Carlmont, as you mentioned, Ray.
Well, this has been the I formation, and it's an I again. And here's the pitch. This time it looks like they've got the outside.
And he turns it upfield. He's hit from behind and taken down. So good pursuit that time by Menlo, but he does pick up about 4 on the play.
And they ran that, Carlmont ran that a little bit differently this time. They ran their tight end in motion, which gave him an extra blocker.
I noticed that. I did not notice that. Doesn't look like a man's covered on the near side for Carlmont, but they pass it to the other side of the field. And on 1st down, a little bit of room to go there for Jason Marley, but he picked up about 3.
Well, this is a slightly different formation. They either go with 1 back, as they did this time, and the 4 outs. And again, maybe Menlo didn't see the guys, on their the Carlmont bench, but they threw it the opposite way, so it brings up about 2nd and 6.
And they pitch it to the fullback coming out of the backfield, Joe LaSala, and he's a big guy to bring down. He moves a couple people into Menlo territory. So already the most productive drive of the game for Carlmont here coming out of this break.
Well, and twice now they've gotten to the outside, and with good running lanes and good yardage. So their idea may be to go outside. Now there's a draw.
They do hand it off on the draw to Reagan, and nothing there.
So
Menlo like closes. Richard Harris got in there.
Yeah, Menlo closes it. There's a couple players there. I think Richard is one of them, but
Chris Atkinson, the other player.
But nice job here.
Deep pass down the middle of the field. That is complete down to the 15-yard line, and the ball comes loose. And it looks like Carlmont jumped back on it, and they did.
Have it, right.
So a break there for the Scots as he hit number 6, Andrew Morrow, for a big gainer down the right side. And fortunately, he had another receiver in the area to fall on that loose ball.
Well, it's interesting. The quarterback looks to his left and throws the ball to his right. The ball's kicked around a little bit, did not go out of bounds, and then recovered by Calmont. So this is the best advancement that they've made. Here's that motion again in the pitch. So you see the tight end
to Regan, and he tries to cut back, and now he cuts against the grain. That's a face mask penalty, and that's going to be tacked on to the end of this run. And this should be a 15-yarder, or in this case, half the distance, you would think. So
now, when we see the play again, you'll see what I'm talking about by that. I mean, it's not really the tight end because he has gone in motion, so he can't be on the line of scrimmage. But he moves back, moves laterally in motion, and then goes ahead and becomes the lead blocker. But Menlo, with the exception of the face mask, did a nice job of stopping the play. They turned it back.
Rolling out right. Now looking back to the left. He's got a lot of men over there on that side, but the Menlo defense closes quickly and takes him down as Charles Lewis got in there for the sack and a big loss.
Well, the backs went to the left and the quarterback went to the right. So somebody, I think, was wrong on that one.
Second and long. Pass out to the left. Corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Jason Marley, a little too far.
Well, this is a pump fake, and then they're going deep, and I believe Menlo was not fooled on that, and that's going to bring up a third down situation. So
it is third and about 18, and they pass it backwards to Regan, and he is hit and dropped.
Again, a dangerous pass, simply because if it's not caught, it can be returned by either team or covered by either team. But this brings up, and I don't know that they'll kick another field goal. Well, they will.
They line up for a field goal, and it's a fake field goal, and it
doesn't fool anybody.
Up in the air and intercepted. So all sorts of things went wrong there for Carlmont. It looked like the snapper had his knee on the ground for the most part. Actually, he didn't have it on the ground.
No,
Heads-up play there.
Right.
And eventually it goes off the face mask of the kicker, LaSala, and into the arms of Carson Badger. And Carson has an interception, his second in as many weeks.
The good news is whether they caught it or didn't catch it, that was fourth down. It would have been Menlo's ball, but they did gain some yardage, so that's fine. It could have maybe run it back for a touchdown, but Menlo has the ball, 1st and 10. Now it's a 3 or 4 yard gain. They run it again, similar play.
First carry and now second carry of the game for Spencer Buja on second down.
And those are good, hard running plays that we've seen any of the fullbacks, anybody that's been in that fullback position, do a good job. And here's
Dylan Mayer, and Dylan's running backwards to get a little bit more field to work with, and he turns it upfield for a first down, moves the chains for the Knights.
Well, there was nothing, where the play was designed to be run. He uses good speed to get outside and picks up the first down. So, you don't usually recommend that, but in this case, he did a real nice job of making the yardage.
They hand it off to Buja again, and we saw this last week against Burlingame, Ray, in the second half. Menlo really started to pound it with the big fullbacks coming out of the break to wear down the team on defense.
Well, the other good thing is it uses a little time on the clock as well, so you can understand the logic and the thinking here. They've got a good, comfortable lead, and now the Scots help them by jumping offside, so play action.
Play action pass out to the right, and that is incomplete. Intended for Kevin Marin, and first pass attempt of the game for Matt Bradley at quarterback.
Well, not a bad idea. You've got a free down to work with in a sense. So now it's second and about 5.
Pitch it to Dylan Mayer, and Dylan turns it upfield. He's got a first down and a little bit more near the 30-yard line.
Once again, when you get outside on the pitch, and they do, you've got plenty of room there. You just run for the green grass, and Dylan does a nice job here. He's eventually knocked out of bounds, but picks up the first down yardage. So great job there.
1st and 10, ball at the 30, and movement is going to back up the Knights. Yep. Second down and 15. Pump fake throwing out right. That's incomplete. Intended for number 27, Chris Reed.
Well, that was again, pump fake, and the blocking was not as good that particular time as it's been in the past. But again, maybe a good time for a screen.
2nd and 15. They go deep pass down the right again. This time it's complete for a touchdown as Connor Stasny goes in for the score, and Menlo has extended their lead.
Well, that's a nice play with the long yardage situation. You run a kind of a fade route here, thrown right where it had to be thrown, just past the defensive man into your waiting receiver, and does a nice job. Stasny does a nice job of getting in the end zone. So Menlo extends their lead.
Extra point is good, and it's 34-3 in favor of the Menlo Knights.
Well, that possible fake field goal was did not fool Menlo at all, and now they go ahead and convert and move it down and score. So let's see what happens in this. There's about 2.5 minutes left in this quarter. So let's see what happens. That
return is quickly covered by the Menlo Knights, as you see in the background. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. This time they run a little slightly different return, get decent yardage, but Menlo's right there to stop them. Little fumble on the exchange, but the pass is complete over the middle. And they ran this play a little earlier, but with a play action. This time they complete it, but Menlo is right there. Good coverage by the linebackers. Quick drop, pressure coming again. He gets out of the reach and now throws on the run, and it's incomplete. Almost a beautifully placed, or a beautifully done job scrambling by the quarterback for Carlmont and making a play happen, but the pass falls incomplete. There also may have been holding on that play, but it was not called. So Carlmont gets another chance here on third down. Shotgun. Pressure's coming again. He gets rid of it again, and it falls incomplete. So Carlmont, it's tough to have an offense going when your quarterback's constantly scrambling for his life. He has been harassed. There's no doubt about it, and the defense has done a great job, holding Carlmont at this point to just 3 points. LaSala in to punt it away for the Scots. It's a low kick again, bounces at the 40-yard line, and is going to be touched. Now it was touched at the 34. Once it was touched at about the 33 or 34, you can pick that up and advance it. But they didn't even call the touching against Carlmont. So the pass is incomplete, intended for Max Parker. So Menlo again wants to get the ball to the outside. If they complete this pass, it's just like that end run. So 2nd and 10. Throwing right again, and that one is complete this time as he hit Chris Reed at the 40-yard line. Well, good. It's not a long yardage, big gainer, but it's a well-thrown ball right where it had to be thrown, and then Chris catches it. That's an underneath man, the linebacker, I think, that made the tackle. Otherwise, they probably would have made the first down. 3rd and 4. Option. Ooh, the back went the wrong way. Like they were going the opposite direction on that option play. So somebody is wrong. The quarterback went to the left, and the pitchback went to the right. So Menlo goes 3 and out for the first time in a while, and the punt by Richard Harris is going to bounce at the 40 and go inside the 20. So Carlmont will have it 1st and 10, trailing 34-3, and what should be the final play of this third quarter. And that fumble exchange is picked right back up by Karaski, the quarterback for Carlmont, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. Rolling out left, throwing a bullet downfield. As an impressive looking ball. We haven't really seen him air it out much today because he's been in constant pressure, but that was a very well thrown ball. It was just a little far. Well, and again, pretty good pass rush. Players got their hands up, so that made it a little tougher for the quarterback. Here's a key 3rd down play. They give it to Regan, and he breaks out of the grasp of one tackler and stays on his feet for a first down, or close to it. Right. So this is a little screen. And he gets by someone right here. And you can see he gets lost in the pile really well. He got by Richard Harrison, and then, makes it, I think it's going to be, yeah, it is. It's enough for a first down. They keep their drive going. Looking right, now throwing deep left, and that is incomplete, intended for Sky Regan again. This time lined up as a wide receiver. It'll be second down.
Well, there was better blocking, although Menlo did still ends up putting some pressure on the quarterback. So this will make it a 2nd and 10. Menlo's defense has played very, very well here for the first 3 quarters.
2 receivers to the near side, open field to the right, and the pass over the middle is complete as he hits the tight end in stride, and down to the 35-yard line goes Joe Walters.
Well, they've run this play 3 or 4 times, Casey, and it's been fairly successful. This is the most wide open that the tight end has been, and they've made the most yardage on it. But that's one of their staples of their offense, I'd say.
1st and 10, ball at the 35. Karaski throws out right. That is complete again, this time to Andrew Morrow, and Morrow down to the 30-yard line.
Well, they have completed, and the passes that they've thrown here have been good, safe throws and nice catches and pretty good yardage on both the last couple of throws.
Rolling right, now throwing right, again. Complete to Gifford, and Gifford down inside the 20 near the 10-yard line. So Carlmont all of a sudden, Ray, is moving the chains pretty much at will. Well,
that'll happen when you complete 3 or 4 passes in a row, and they've done that. Plus, they had a nice block there downfield. He slips a tackle, not the last one here, but that's, again, 3 or 4 first downs in a row now, passing the ball. Play action again. It looks like there's going to be a screen.
He gets the pass away, almost intercepted, but he does avoid the sack.
Right. But this was a dangerous one because it's first down, and I think, if you're gonna take a chance, make it on 3rd or 4th down usually, not on first down. He threw that blindly. A reverse.
And it is a reverse. Cutting back up the field is Gifford, down near the 5-yard line.
Those plays are usually designed to go outside. I know the back in this case cut it inside, and that's not. I would say a reverse is a wider play than that. But Menlo must have had it diagnosed, so they decided to go inside. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Looking left, pumps now, brings it down. Pressure's coming, throwing on the run. That is incomplete. Had a man breaking open in the end zone, but it goes off of his hands.
Well, and we've talked about this before, Casey. When your quarterback is scrambling, going to his left or to his right, you usually go with him. So the receiver did the right thing. The quarterback made a nice throw. They just didn't come up with it. So,
quick pass on 4th down. He's got a man open, breaking for the goal line, and into the end zone. For a touchdown goes Jason Marley. So Carlmont closes the gap just a bit, as they've got it 34-9 now with the PAT pending.
Well, that was a kind of a bubble screen. You saw the other receiver block for him, and then nice job of getting in the end zone. So give the Carlmont receiver some credit there.
Point after is good, and it's a 34-10 lead for Menlo with just under 7 minutes to go in the ball game.
I'd look for an onside kick. Remember, they did that bunch type of approach before. Here it is. But no, they kick it deep.
Shoot it deep, and Menlo was ready for the onside kick. Had a lot of people crammed into the middle of the field there, but it's taken deep by Spencer Buja, and Spencer's got it up to the 35-yard line where Menlo will start 1st and 10, looking to milk some time off the clock.
Well, that's a nice kick and a good return. It looks like it's kind of a middle wedge, and so they close it and close it quickly.
Correction, that was Max Coleman who brought that one back. 34, not 24. And on 1st down, Menlo runs it out of bounds. So they keep the clock running, which is a friend of the Knights. And
shotgun formation here.
Man in motion for Menlo. Looking deep down the right side of the field for Coleman. That is incomplete, and it goes out of bounds. And looking at the yardage marker, that was actually 3rd down for Menlo.
And this may have the ball may have been driven the receiver out of bounds. So it brings up a 4th down play. Even if it had been caught, probably would have been ruled out of bounds.
So the Knights will have to punt it away, and it's taken at the 35. So Carlmont does their job defensively there, Ray. They get the ball back as soon as possible, and they have an opportunity to close the gap a little bit further.
Well, a nice punt, because it does not give the return team much time to return it or set up their blocking. So Carlemont's going to have to go a long ways to get a quick score if you think of it that way defensively.
Passing left, and it's incomplete, intended for Sky Regan again. He laid out for that one, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they've gone to their 4 outs, and you see that again right here. This is a quick bubble screen in a sense.
Pass left is complete, and
stepped out of bounds, which
he
stops
did step
the clock.
out of bounds, as that was Marley, the man who's got the touchdown here in the second half for Carlemont.
Well, that was the same play that he hit that they scored on before. You saw the blocker go up and make a block, so it's a quick bubble screen.
1st and 10.
Play action pass.
Passing over the middle. That's complete to Regan. He stays on his feet down to the 30-yard line. So Carlemont is starting to air it out, and they're having success through the air.
Well, and they're mixing up their passes. They've thrown to the middle often, at least in the last drive and again here, and then they keep it in the that bubble screen, and they scored a touchdown by throwing it wide. So here's another bubble screen.
Pass out left. That's complete. Trying to make a player miss, and does. Near the first down marker. Finally going out of bounds is Joe Walters.
There were about 4 players that ended up, grabbing different parts of his jersey and parts of him, and then finally forcing him out of bounds. But he slips that first tackle, and then there's 1, 2, 3 more players, a 4th one coming, and finally get him out of bounds.
Still never goes off of his feet. Stayed on his feet the whole time. Quick pass left. That's short and incomplete.
Right.
2nd and 10.
Well, now the next pattern should probably be to the inside or the middle. That's where they've been throwing these passes, out and then back in.
Cuts across the field, did Regan. That one's incomplete.
Well, that was a slant. Yeah, that was a slant pass. Just guessing it's a bubble screen, or I don't know what, maybe a fade to the outside.
3rd down, and they do throw that fade to the corner of the end zone. Incomplete. They're going to have a penalty marker here. This could be interesting to see who this one's against.
Right. It may be offensive pass interference. What it looked like was maybe that the Carlemont player pushed off.
Or was he bumped into, and that's the reason that contact was made. It looks like they're backing him up. So an offensive pass interference call against Carlemont. Loss of down, and it is 4th down and long for the Scots. Pump fake looking now, right corner of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Andrew Morrow came open right as the ball landed in his hands. A beautifully timed throw and catch by the Scots, and they have closed the gap a little closer.
Well, that was right on the money, as you mentioned, Casey. And what's interesting is the quarterback looked to his left and then came back to the right. Now, both receivers were running the fade. We saw it on the left where there was pass interference, and then this time they threw it to the right, and it was a completed pass. Now, with little time left, I really think we're going to go ahead and see an onside kick this time, but what do I know?
2.5 minutes to go in the game. They do hit the onside kick, and it's a beauty. Bouncing towards the out-of-bounds marker, it's loose, and Carlemont's got it. That was possibly the slowest onside kick I've ever seen, but nonetheless effective.
Well, Menlo knew it was coming, and even when you know it's coming, and they seem to go ahead and cover it, but lo and behold, the ball pops up, and Carlemont gets it. So they're back in business about the 38-yard line.
Pressure coming, he gets rid of it. And back to that onside kick, Ray, that's kind of a situation where that bunch formation helps because he can kick it to either side.
Right.
And that side, Menlo had everybody in the middle like they should, and it bounced into no man's land. So it's now 2nd and 10 for Carlemont. Passing to the left, that's complete to Regan. He cuts across the grain and is going to go down at the 25-yard line. Flag comes in late.
What's good about this is, yes, he catches it, yes, he makes yardage, but he does not get out of bounds. Now the flag looks like it's going to be against Menlo, so that's going to stop the clock. Well, no flag. Okay, so the clock will keep running. So in a sense, you don't mind. You don't want to give up the yardage, but you certainly don't want to give up a score. You want the clock to keep running. So here, you know, if they go to the outside again, then they get out of bounds or possibly get by one, you know, shake one defender, and you got a touchdown.
Looked like a possible face mask that was called off, and that pass is deep. Had a man open in the end zone again, and Jason Marley, but it falls incomplete.
Well,
and it'll be third down, or excuse me, second down.
Usually as a defensive back, you want to get help from your safety, so you kind of cover the flats, the outside near the sideline, and hope that you get that inside help or support. But, you know, you read the patterns of the receivers as well.
Pass down the middle is incomplete, and there was a lot of room to run there for Joe Walters had he grabbed it. Flag is thrown on this play, and a personal foul, roughing the passer against Menlo, and that's a biggie.
It sure is. Gives them a first down, and that was that play action pass to the tight end.
Give it to Regan. He cuts to the inside, now the outside, and he is dropped rudely at the 5-yard line.
Well,
he almost got hit with the face mask again.
Right. Well, you know, it's Menlo is flying around the ball, and they've done a good job there, but the
quarterback draw up the middle, not much room.
The problem here is if you're not careful, they may score again and maybe get another onside kick. So give them, make sure that they use their timeouts, keep them in bounds, don't let them get another quick score.
Pass right. That's complete to Walters. He is fighting towards the goal line, but he is short. It'll be fourth down and goal now. And for all intents and purposes, the ball game here on this play for Carlmont, it's 4th and goal.
That was the bubble screen.
They go right up the middle, and correction, they did have the ability to pick up one more first down as the marker was at the 2. So they believe they've gotten a first down here. And they do give it to them.
Right. It's first down, but the clock is still running.
Ooh.
Now, they were not set that time.
And the official caught that immediately, so back them up 5. Things happening quickly here as this game winds down. Pump fake once, throwing corner of the end zone, incomplete, and a flag. It's raining yellow here at Carlmont right now.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. That is probably going to be defensive pass interference. So.
And it is an automatic first down as well, so it's 1st and goal from the 2. They hand it off to the big fullback, and he is in. No penalty markers thrown on this play. And Carlmont has closed the gap even further.
Right. They've staged a heck of a comeback here. Very little time left, and once again, I think what we'll expect is the onside kick. So one of the things that you can do here is you can knock the ball out of bounds if the kick is near the boundary, and if you can fair catch it. That's another thing that's possible.
Just under a minute to go in the ball game. A 10-point lead for Menlo. Onside kick coming, another bounce, nice and play. This one's going to be kneeled on at the 40-yard line. So.
Well, you just want to get possession, so a smart play here. Get the ball. Don't try to make any yardage. Just take it, go down. Possession is what you want here. So I think Menlo can safely put this one away.
Handoff on first down. Not much there. Carlmont takes a timeout.
Well, this was, what we've seen earlier. No straight-ahead blocking, nothing. And again, another straight-ahead blocking play, but good defense by Carlmont.
Timeout again. So, if nothing else, Menlo is making Carlmont use their remaining timeouts.
Well, and the other thing you want to do, as Menlo knows, they're trying to run the football. So usually you cut down your splits and go ahead and block the oncoming rushers.
Penalty coming up here. Looks like an illegal motion possibly, or a false start against Menlo, and it is.
Backs him up a little more.
So it's 3rd and very long, 3rd and about 22. Shotgun formation for the Knights. Rolling out. Pressure's coming, and he's going to run out of bounds, it looks like. So Menlo will have to punt it away to Carlmont.